and I'm a native resident of Baby Hunters Point. My father was here in 1936, before the war started and all. And he came from Southern University, and he had a degree, a master's degree in horticulture, okay? Couldn't get a job. Only job he ended up getting when the shipyard started. He started with the housing, then he became a rigger. When they did the experimental lab, the original experimental lab, not that tall building on the Blue Street side, but the small buildings on the side where the railroad tracks are, where they used to experiment on animals and what have you. And they had all these toxic barrels and things they would take, they would bury them in the shipyard, drop them in the shipyard. And they had so many of them, they started taking them out to the fair lines. So those same toxics that's out there in the fair lines are in the shipyard also, okay? Where they were experimenting with these dogs, experimenting with that bomb, the portion of the bomb that they made for Hiroshima in the shipyard, those toxics, some of those toxics are still out there in the shipyard. I know for a fact because my father relayed this to us. I had family members who had passed from different chemicals that was in that shipyard. I had aunts that was welders out there in the shipyard building ships during the wartime. So I have a history of what transpired out there. My mother had double breast cancer from that shipyard, my father bringing toxics in there. I lived on Hall Street, the first block from the shipyard, housing in the 50s, okay? So I know about the toxics. I was born on Navy Road. We used to look over in the shipyard when all of that partial C, E2, was all water. When they were filling it in. My wife's uncle, Jack Johnson, was one of the persons driving a dump truck when they were sandblasting ships, taking that lead off those ships and the sand and dumping it into E2. I've seen all of that field, okay? I'm saying from a community aspect, from a native person from this community, I want it 100% clean. I don't care how much it costs. Right. I remember when I was a little boy, we used to go down a shrimp boat where they used to sell shrimp out of that water, okay? In the 50s, when Eisenhower stopped the war, in the 50s, everybody was living good in this community, okay? All of a sudden, a lot of people of my color got laid off in that shipyard in the 50s, okay? We became a lot of alcoholics, a lot of other things in the shipyard. Now we had tannering companies in this community. We had all of the meat companies, Del Monte, Swift, all of them used to be in this community. We had all of the wrecking yards. We had all of the slaughterhouses in this community, out of the meat company. Okay?
Filling stations.
The stink, I've grown up with the stink.
Right.
4 years of stink won't bother me. If you had said 8 years of stink, wouldn't bother me. We want the shipyard 100% clean. I want it down to where Mike was saying they're dredging over in Oakland, down to 50 feet or whatever. I want that much dug out. I want the old shrimps to come back to the San Francisco Bay. I want where Yosemite Slough is, when the water used to rain, and we used to have little rafts and what have you down there playing, having a good time, having lizards, having all kind of birds, having all kind of natural things that was in this community. We want those things back. We don't even see hummingbirds in this community no more, let alone any of the other exotic birds. They don't even fly on this side anymore. The butterflies don't even come over on this side no more. They travels from coast to coast. We don't get that anymore because they know it's toxic over here. Only ones who are still here is the old pigeons, or the old parakeets, and that's us. Okay, we're saying we want it 100% clean. I have my youngest grandson. Just before he was born, I had a grandson that was born in this community who had half a heart. Okay, he passed up at UC Hospital in this community. Okay, I have another grandson who's now, he's 3 years old, 2 years old, somewhere along there. A lot of energy. Okay, he's going to grow up in this community. My grandmother was the first one bought a home of color in this Baby Hunters Point community. I've been here. I'm not leaving. I'm 62 years old. My grandkids and my kids are not going to leave. As soon as they start building on Navy Road, I'm going to move back to Navy Road. Okay? So I'm going to be here. My kids are going to be here. A lot of my brothers moved out. I had 5 brothers. I got 3 of them moved out of the city because of the toxics. Okay, one is not doing too much better than we are here. He's commanding officer with Port Chicago. But still, we in this community want the best for our peoples in this community. We want it 100% clean. I don't care how much it costs.
That's right.
I do not care. They didn't care how much it cost dumping all of it. We have toxins that came from Letterman Hospital in this shipyard. We have toxins that came from Presidio and all the other different places from this community. We need our community cleaned up to the best that it can be cleaned up. We don't need no caps. You know, I might die and come back here again in this community, and I want to be fresh. You know, so I mean, I'm asking whoever in charge to make sure you do 100% clean. We've dealt with all of the toxic spills. I had a trucking company, Double O Trucking. We was in the shipyard. We had 5 acres in the shipyard. We brought barges from Hawaii with the volcano rock. Took it to QPI Brisbane for asphalt. Barged in here, right up under that crane in the shipyard. You can barge things in here. You can use barges, you can use trucks to take those materials out of there. Our community, we have people in this community that I've gotten into trucking that's dying for work. You know, we're a community that needs the same opportunities that everybody else in the nation needs. So whatever you do, we're going to benefit. So I'm asking 100% clean. Thank you. Please.
Well, hopefully that's one way.